Hey, you wonderful people, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and in this whole live stream, we're gonna look into the Mercury going into Virgo, and it's gonna be, for many, it's gonna be quite of a how can I describe it? A bit of a flabbergasting period of time. It's gonna be a short one though, because truth be told, that should go for about couple of weeks. Actually, Mercury is entering Libra at the 30th, so yeah, 21 days. So it's literally a 3 weeks, give or take a day or two. And hello, Natasha, or Nashta. Yeah, hello, Nashta. I'm sorry that I butchered your name. So yeah, it's natural. That was I was about to say here. Kemo Sabe. I hope I do pronounce your name correctly. Mercury feels natural in Virgo, and that's why things are, for some of us, I mean, they're going to hit the fan. And that is according to Pisces Moonbeam here, as there are going to be details and facts which are going to immerse on the surface out there, and obviously those who told lies, who fed some kind of a fallacies into you or into your situations, even they ain't going to be able to escape the inevitable that the truth at the end of the day is to be revealed. But the better thing that's Mercury also is going to bring into the plate that we do have, it is a very structured and strategic, how can I say, a performance that we all are going to feel entitled placing career-wise, relationship-wise as well, which it will be very beneficial for the career and for the relationship, because as Pisces Moonbeam here points, because I don't have her today here. She does have some errands to run, so she cannot be around. But she wrote me down basically the points. And what she wrote about Pisces Moonbeam, for those who doesn't know, guys, it is the astrologer here on Radko Tarot. And practically there will be an organized planning. There will be structure and order into our endeavors as well. That is what Mercury entering into Virgo is going to exert. And everything is going to take more specific turn, more methodical turn. So therefore the chaotic development of our deeds, especially wherever things went into upheaval, where havoc have been wreaked in them, they are going to take on a more natural and how can I say, more structured turn, a moving forward. Now, what's my sun sign? My sun sign is Scorpio. And hello, Olivia, or Olivio, Judea. Hello, Seda. So that surprised me, truth be told, because from now on I'm going to talk specifically about tarot and how tarot sees the transit. As well, I'm going to perform a 12 readings for each star sign and how that star sign, or what kind of an energy that star sign is going to have throughout the next 3 weeks as far as Mercury in Virgo is concerned. And that a bit shocked me, to be honest, because Mercury in Tarot is represented by the Magician and Virgo is represented by the Hermit. And we do have air and earth facing each other, and according to the elements of dignities, these elements, they don't go well together at all. They are in this particular case, a passive enemies. And like I said at the start, I said, oh my God, wait a minute, why is that the case? But when I thought a little bit into it, when I put my thoughts into it, it kind of makes sense. Now, Virgo, in terms of tarot, guys, it is when you do focus on the substantial things in life. You know, you do focus into your love life, but only the substantial part into it. You do not, you no longer want to be fed with lies. You no longer want to be fed with fallacies. Only what it is accomplishable, only what it is achievable, only what can be substantial It's something that Virgo makes you focus on. And while the Magician, it is the very early stages into one's enterprises, so to speak. You know, in tarot and in books, you can see that the Fool, it is the new beginning. Actually, it is the Magician. The Fool comes with number 0 and it sits in between two infinities, and that is the moment just before the beginning. The real beginning comes with the Magician, and as they are enemies, it kind of makes sense for you do not, or rather like this energy does not pushes you into experimenting with things and trying to make the magic happens. Instead, it makes you focus on the substantial aspects into your life, things that probably you have already built, probably you have already struggled for, probably, you know, you are trying to develop. And now within this transit, it's highly likely that certain way to develop these things, relationship-wise, career-wise as well, is to be manifested. But what is one is certain here, that throughout this transit, every one of us is truly going to find some kind of a light that shines for them into the darkness. Every one of us is going to find certain light at the end of their tunnel. Hello everybody who is joining in, and you're welcome. You're welcome, Big Bear Joel. So, well, Vedic astrology, Western astrology, you know, they kind of like argue with each other. There are discrepancies in between them, but we do look at it from the tarot perspectives for the most case. And yeah, tarot can support that it is not exactly pleasant transit. Like I explained, the Magician and the Hermit, they don't go very well together. And the shock may come from the fact that, you know, for example, we may realize that we are trying things way too hard in a direction that simply ain't going to pay off moving forward. Mars and Venus are pair. Yeah, you could say that. Like Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, it will be quite interesting, that transit, Mars in Leo. Actually, it will be very volatile, but in the same time very cleansing type of an aspect, at least according to tarot. So let's jump into the prime reason of the live stream, guys. So let me explain you how the live stream is going to move forward. I am going to perform 12 readings for each star sign. It will be a spread that I'm going to use. The very first position of the spread will describe the topic and the theme of the transit for each respective star sign. Then we do have the second card, which thank you so much, Esther Hamera, for your 10 Australian dollars support to my live stream. Thank you so much. Make sure you do stick around up until the end of the live stream, or if you don't have that luxury, you can look you can watch the live stream on a later stage, as it's going to be here on the YouTube channel as a video, and there you're going to find your personal reading. Yes, I was about to say that as I do go through the star signs with the spread, and the first card, like I said, is going to represent the topic. The second card of the live stream is going to, of the spread, I'm sorry, is going to represent the obstacles which each sign is going to face, the challenges out there that each sign has to overcome throughout this throughout this transit. The third card is going to describe the positive aspects, the energies, the help that we're going to get either from other people, from the universe, or it is just, you know, that may be just a pleasant circumstances based on our own decisions. And the last card, it's going to describe the end of the transit or the end of the cycle. For some it's going to be pretty early, for others it's going to be pretty late, depending on how well you do your job or how well you learn your lesson throughout the transit. So In between the star signs, after each 4 star signs, I'm going to announce a break. And within this break, a free reading poll is going to be conducted. So in order to get into the free reading poll, the only thing you have to do is just input your question into the comments here of the live stream. And I'm going to pick one question, and we'll perform a professional reading on that particular question. So there are going to be total of 3 readings, free readings within this live streams. Everybody who goes through the super chat and support the live stream, they're going to have their reading at the end of the stream regardless. And of course, at the end, if you do wish a personal reading to have your own, or you're interested into my tarot classes, you can go to the description down below, and there you're going to see a link to my website where you can view and purchase either or both of these services. So yeah, Esther, make sure you do stick around up until the end of the live stream, where I'm going to perform you a reading, a personal reading. So with that being said, moving forward with the very first star sign we do have for the transit, and that is going to be Aries. Well, Mad Kitty, cusp is a very, how can I say, drifting narrative, or I don't know how to say it, because many astrologers, especially astrologers from the Russian scholarship, they don't see it as a cusp. Even if you are into the very last degree of the last degree, say of a Virgo, you are Virgo no matter what. Okay, there is no cusp. You are either in Virgo, or you are in Libra, or you are in Leo, in case you are in the very first degree of the first degree. So I don't know about that cusp. Hello, Sarah. Welcome to the live stream. Long time no see, I believe. Yeah, exactly. Chemo say, if your star sign is Taurus, you are Taurus no matter what degree your sun is in. Good evening, John. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you do enjoy your time here. And so the very first card for the very first star sign, we are off of a good start here for Aries. The first one is the Lovers. Let me see if you can see the cards, guys, because I ordered that deck because I thought it's very beautiful deck, but it kind of like it's very different when you put it in front of camera, because they are really dark. So we do have the Lovers. The second card, that will be the Chariot. Okay, followed by the next, oh my god, we do have the Tower card as the third card. And the last card, that will be the Three of Cups. Okay, so we do have these 4 cards. And Taurus, Aries, I'm sorry. So Aries, you have to be extremely cautious when it comes to relationships into the next 3 weeks. And that is because we do have these couple of cards here, okay, the Lovers with the Chariot, and Chariot particularly that is sitting into the second position. And what we said, that the second position is what is going to hold you back, or or for the most part is going to work towards your detriment. And Chariot, in that particular case, when it comes to relationship, it is premature jump into dying relationship. Okay, so especially if you're single, it's highly likely that within the next few days, maybe a week or 2, you are gonna stumble upon a very interesting individual. Okay, that just the attraction is going to be imminent and even irresistible for the most part. And you know, you may kind of like try it out way too hastily or jump into that relationship way too hastily. And because we do have the Chariot there, it doesn't mean that things are not going to work out, not by a large margin. It's a quite complicated reading, and I could talk about it for 40 minutes, but I'm going to just summarize here that the person you see, it's not exactly the person you imagine, okay? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it may catch you off guard. So it will pay off a big time if you do take your time to actually try and not research, but get to know each other before you kind of like jump into the relationship itself. Aside from that, next 3 weeks for you, Aries, they are going to be kind of like saturated with decision making situations, okay? And most of these situations, they are going to be very surprising events that you have not anticipated at all. And the good thing here it is that within these situations, there will be no right or wrong choice. What I like to give as an examples to my students in that particular case here with these cards, it is, imagine that you are unemployed, right? And suddenly you do have an option to choose from a couple of jobs. Now, one of the job, it is a very well paid one that if you do decide to go with it, you will never have to think about expenses, money, and how you're gonna meet ends or end meets. The other job, it is a job you always wanted to work, but it doesn't pay that well, while the first one that pays very well, it's something you would hate working. So there is no right or wrong decision here. You just have to go by with your personal preference, because it depends on your circumstances, if you get what I mean. And such kind of a choices you will have to take within the next 3 weeks, Aries, and those choices will prove themselves to come about through a rather unpleasant circumstances, just like the Tower card describes. But it is into the third position, which means that these unpleasant circumstances ultimately are going to lead you to a growth, nourishment, and a nurturing of your personal life. Now, the Tower card may describe many things, okay? It could describe a sudden crush that you may have into somebody. It may describe as well, even it may describe that you may get kicked off your job just so you can find a better job a couple of days later. But everything happens through a unpleasant circumstances that is just throwing you into a very unknown situation that at the start you don't know how to act upon at all. But very quickly, guys, you're going to get the hang of it, and you will make all of the right choices here, although there is no right or wrong choices. For as we can see at the end of the transit here with the Three of Cups, you will have some results that you are going to enjoy. On top of that, people around you are going to enjoy your results as well. And it's just there will be an emotional, how can I say, overflow in between you and your social circle, you and your colleagues as well, you know, you and your partner in life, if you do happen to have that at that point. And it's just a moment where, I don't know how to describe it, but it is just everybody is going to be happy for you, okay? So ultimately at the end, you will see that you made all of the right choices. All right, so next one, that will be Taurus. Hello, Aquarius. Aquarius Star Child. No, I haven't done it yet. Aquarius is quite far into the live stream, and we have just begun. Good night, Danny. All right, so Taurus, a first one, that will be the Ace of Cups. Moving next, what we have, that will be the Fool card. Afterwards, that will be the, what is that, Four of Cups. And the last one for Taurus, we have the Empress. So this is a, again, just give me a second here, guys. Again, these 4 cards. And Taurus, pretty much the topic of your transit, guys, is going to be an impending change, but it's not going to take place towards the new thing in life. It will be an impending change where your heart, it's pretty much empty and very, very disappointed. And that place in your heart is going to be refilled back with joy, and if you want to take it as well, love. And nothing will seem the same when you do look at your life through that overflowing joy, because it's pretty much that's what's going to happen. According to the last card, is not the Empress, it is actually the Queen of Pentacles, guys. I do apologize, but that doesn't change the very entry of the reading here with the Ace of Cups. And while you may look at the Ace of Cups as love that it is coming in your way, which is very possible, Ace of Cups is actually the love for life itself, okay? Not just only intimate one, but in generally the love for life itself. And pretty much speaks that this transit is going to bring to you something that you are going to freaking love it. It could be the love of your life, it could be the job of your life, right? It could be even, if you will, a birth of a child. It just is going to be something that you are going to freaking love it. And it's not going to be something new, as we do have the Fool card into the second position. Actually, it will be a thing that probably you thought you have already lost, but yet there will be an impending change that is going to rectify the course of the events. And that further can be seen here with the Four of Cups into the third position. Okay, and while the Four of Cups may be interpreted as a boredom and as just a flat line into dying progress, Four of Cups, it is the that's not Four of Cups. Oh my God, what I am talking about here. We do have the Six of Cups, and now that thing makes bigger sense. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna spill the stone to explain myself a little bit. I had a kidney crisis today, and so I had to take painkillers. And probably they are a little bit diluting my mind. But besides the point, we do have the Six of Cups into the third position. And Six of Cups speaks that the enjoyment of the experience that is going to take place, that our career, okay, or the career that we are going to find ourselves into, the job that we are going to find ourselves into, we are going to approach that job very creatively, and simply we are going to enjoy our time there to a point where simple chores are going to become a very pleasant endeavor for us to just carry on with. Relationship wise, this is where the cherry takes the cake, right? Or this is where the cherry of the cake is, because if that's about love for you, this transit, Taurus, then the person that is gonna overflow your heart with joy, it's gonna be a person that you will simultaneously like and love physically and emotionally as well. And I could say that that is going to be the person, something unlike anything you have stumbled by now. And oh, that's all right, Cinnamon. I mean, I caused that myself because I forgot the air conditioner blowing cold because it was very hot last night. And when I woke up, it's just all of my waist was pretty much solid frozen, or frozen solids. And yeah, it provoked. It was just an excruciating pain, regardless. So I had to take some painkillers. In any case, yeah, it just is going to be the person. And as this is the third card into the spread, Taurus, this is something conditional. What I mean is that you should not settle for anything less than that. A person that you do like physically, and simultaneously there is a stream of emotions in between you two. And finally, with the Queen of Pentacles here, how the transit ends for you, that is the moment where you do define your domain with the with that card. And the definition of the domain is so broad that there are so many things that you can do in it, and I'll try to explain that with some practical examples. Say you end up in a relationship into the next 30 days. That relationship is going to be so huge that in the next couple of years you do have what to explore from it. This thing here becomes even better when it comes to work. This could speak for a project that could be carried on, that can carry you into your profession for the next few years, or a job that you can climb pretty high into the ladder of the hierarchy. It is just a domain that there is so much potential in it that you still yet have to explore it to its full potential. And if things look very good at the start, you just have to wait further into the future or move further into the future just to see how beautiful in reality is, because at the start, doesn't matter how beautiful it looks like, guys, that is just the tip of the iceberg for you. Yeah, it's pretty wonderful. Thank you, Jan. Well, I made my peace with it, guys. For those who know me, I have that condition which makes me build urea. It's called urea. Basically, it's a silt in your kidneys, and it crystallizes and it makes really small stones. So I pretty much accepted it. I made my peace with it that I'm gonna have kidney crisis occasionally, and I just can't allow that thing to deter my life, you know, and to dictate my life. I allowed it for a pretty huge portion of my you know, of my 20s, but I'm not gonna allow it anymore. Thank you, Esther. Yeah, I know. Many things are provoking the stones out, Tara. The problem is that I am constantly making them, okay? So it's just, it doesn't make sense to me to provoke in being in crisis constantly. I do feel better now, Big Bear. All right, so next star sign, that is going to be Gemini, and the verse that is representative of Gemini, guys, in tarot. Followed by the next one here, which stands as the Six of Wands. I don't drink because of another story, not because of my kidney stones. Okay, actually, a doctor told me, it's urologist, told me that's best thing for kidneys, it's to drink vodka, because it makes your ureter to open up. I don't know why. Next one, that is going to be the Hermit. And the last card for a Gemini, we do have the Seven of Pentacles. Malibu Ronin, thank you so much for your $4.99 US. Support. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end of the stream to have your own reading about the cycle. To you, to Esther, who supported the stream earlier. Right, so yeah, I gotta become vegan if I want my diet truly to have some kind of a how can I say to make a difference. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's get to the break, and I'm gonna give you another excuse for booze. Right, so with Gemini here, it's a moment where they will have a moment, or it's a transit where they will have to make a reevaluation of their progress moving forward. And because we do have the Hermit here into the third position, Gemini, it's highly likely that within the next 3 weeks you will realize that for a big portion, you either are approaching a wrong goals, or you are approaching your goals in a wrong way. Now, luckily, things are not way too far in to be how do you call it, to be rectified, and therefore you can take some additional measures to improve your results career-wise or relationship-wise. Now, according to these cards, the problem here, it is the Six of Wands into the second position, and that pretty much speaks that no matter how much you try, certain milestones will not gonna be reached into the next 3 weeks, even if you may expect to reach those milestones. And that is exactly because you may find yourself working out of a harmony. And how you do realize that? Well, when you do things against your will, you know that you don't want to do something, and yet you do it because, I don't know why, because probably somebody else expecting you to do stuff. So instead of doing that, as the Hermit once again dictates, you will decide to focus on more substantial things for yourself and address your situations with intelligence and wisdom instead of acting impulsively and active emotionally toward your situations. And that will restore harmony into your life. Is going to restore harmony into your relationship, into your career as well. And by this restoration of harmony, many of your problems are simply going to be eradicated on their own accord. All right, it's just as soon as you do restore the harmony out there, many concerns are no longer be around you. Now, if you are looking for work or looking for love, it's highly likely within the next 3 weeks, Gemini, to, if not find the right one, to pretty much have a very good idea where you're gonna find the right job or the right person, or who the right person is, who the right job here is, of the Hermit into the third position. You also are going to be pretty in tune, or how can I say, pretty clear what kind of an emotions and what kind of a feelings you do have towards certain individuals, towards certain enterprises as well, and towards certain career paths also. So you will be pretty aware what you want to be, where you want to be, and whom you want to be with. And then the cycle here ends in 2 possible ways for you. Thank you, Big Bear. In 2 possible ways, and I am explaining that into my tarot classes as well. Let me draw the Seven of Pentacles from the traditional deck here. I want to explain you that a little bit better. Okay, so look at the card, guys. We do have a person. Okay, we do have a person who is sitting in front of a bush that it is full with pentacles. Now, pentacles in tarot, they do not represent money. All right, they just don't represent money. Pentacles, they do represent value. Now, value could be love, value could be money as well, value could be a career. They do represent value. And look at the man. The man seems a bit worried, right? It seems a bit concerned, so to speak. Why is that? Well, either for one of the 2 reasons. Either because the pentacle of value fall from the bush of value on the ground, and that person is concerned why that pentacle fell down, or this person is concerned how to fit that value onto the bush, not seeing a way to fit it there for now. So in either of the cases, you will have some kind of an extra value at the end of the week, you know, either extra love, or either extra opportunity, you know, or either extra, I don't know, either extra a person to work with, so to speak. Okay, and you will be concerned how exactly things are going to play out moving forward. Do you do the necessary things to cash in on that value, or maybe you are overperforming in there and you are giving way too much in, so that value to pretty much worth its while. And so at the end of these 3 weeks, you Gemini most likely are going to put a little bit of a break. How can I say, slow down your pace, if you will, and instead of mindlessly pushing forward, you will give a pretty good retrospection of what worth your while and how much your involvement, it's how can I say, it's imperative into your things. And the Seven of Pentacles also have one more meaning here, which is very private reading, private meaning, so to speak. And it says that there is a very important event which is lurking behind the corner. You don't want to miss it, and for that reason you do want to conserve some resources, which could be time, which could be money, which could be performance as well, which could be fatigue. So whenever that event comes about, you do have enough strength to get that event and to cash in on it. Alkaline, yeah, cinnamon kiss. That's the problem with me. That's because it's the alkaline. That is a problem. The alkaline, Actually, the treatment of these variation of stones I have is acid, lemon acid in particular. Okay, this is actually the treatment. You're welcome, Florimel. You're welcome. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Right, so next one, that is going to be Cancer. And the first one for Cancer, that will be the Queen of Pentacles. Followed by the second card here, we do have the Hangman. Then followed by the third card, which is the Moon. Afterwards, what we have, that will be the Eight of Swords. So we do have these 4 cards for Cancer. Just give me a second here, guys. So now Cancer, they're gonna find themselves into a peculiar emotion into the next 3 weeks. Because suddenly things in their life are going to be set into stir, okay? Things that have been dormant by now, or situations that have been dormant by now, they're going to be set into stir. So imagine it that way. Your love life have been dormant by now, all right? It's going to be set in stir. Or maybe your career went in dormant by now and is going to be set into stir. And at the start, you may a little bit find yourself unprepared for it. And the stir is going to be related with the past. What I mean, it is that situations from the past that went dormant are going to come back again, which may speak about ex, which may speak about previous job that requires your attention, okay? Anything that it is related with the past and that you haven't heard of for quite a while, it will be set into stir again. And you may think at that point, why? Well, why? It's because of the Moon card, okay? We do have that one here into the 3rd position. And there isn't a best way to describe it here. It's just something you have to feel it. But the reason why these things are brought back to your attention, these past things are brought back to your attention, is because there is something meant to happen. Say you do had an ex, right? Or that you haven't heard of couple of years, and you almost forgot about that woman, or you almost forgot about that man, and suddenly they come back into your life now into the next 3 weeks, and you are asking yourself why. There is no answer to that question besides that there is something that you both are meant to experience together. That is just an example here, but a very possible way how that whole thing is to develop. And it is not given to you, Cancer, to know why and what that thing is to be experienced. And I'll try to explain it here with the moon card. Okay, so look at the card. Let me show it to you. We do have a path here into the moon card, which is your path, the path you're meant to walk with this old thing, which does have potential, which is heretofore unexplored. And now it's time for you and whomever else is involved with it to explore it. Now that path goes beyond the summit, which summit in tarot, that is a symbol of a spiritual growth. Okay, so that thing, what you are meant to experience, will bring you a spiritual and as well, how do you call it? I will call it that way, a personal growth. But it goes beyond the summit. You don't get to know where it leads you, but you need to walk it. It's gonna lead you to a point where you are supposed to be. Okay, and the moon comes into the third position because it kind of like asks way too much from you, Cancer. It tells you that you have to blindly follow the path. Okay, it's just you need to have a blind faith into it. And as tarot is not designed to make decisions for you, you get to decide what you want to do. But it's highly likely at that stage of the transit you to feel a bit uncertain, insecure as well about what is going to happen, what is going on around. Because with the moon card, circumstances, they are shrouded in obscurity, so to speak. Because if you do know everything, you get to alter it. And like I said, you should not, for it is a something meant for you to happen. And at the end here, at the end of the transit, you do end up at the Eight of Swords moment, and that is where you are going to overcome a self-imposed limitations. That is literally what the card says. That is one thing. And the second thing, it is that you are going to recognize certain truth that is going to make you free. Okay, it's as simple as that. You may recognize or realize that you are way more capable than you thought you are. You may realize, that you can be way more happier than you are, and so on and so forth. But some kind of a truth that is going to make you free and is going to allow you to overcome a self-imposed limitations that will pretty much open up your life. It's as simple as that. Well, Tinkerbell, we are all happy for you as well. There isn't probably a better feeling or a better words that one can hear. So yeah, I mean, you are a really lucky woman. All right, so that concludes the reading for the first 4 star signs, guys. And now the free reading contest is open. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to input your question here into the comments, whomever of you wants a free reading. And once those 5 minutes are over, I'm going to pick one question that is inputted here into the comments, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. And anybody who supports the live stream through Super Chat, they get their reading no matter what at the end of the live stream. And of course, if you do wish your own personal reading with me, you can go to my website, which you're going to find into the description down below. And there at the very front page, you're going to see a full list of my services, as well their pricing, and based on your budget and your needs, you can choose whichever service suits you best. You're welcome, Patricia. You're welcome. But it was a really good one for a Cancer. I really love the 8 of Swords cards. Many people see it in a very negative way, but actually it's an eye-opening. It is where you do realize that you bond yourself to something, and most likely it is some kind of a untruthful thing, and once you do realize the truth, now you are free. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your $10 support. Make sure you do stick around up until the end of the live stream, where I'm going to give you a reading. All right, so while we are waiting, Cinnamon here said about the drinking routine, and actually, Cinnamon, no, I'm not drinking because of my kidneys. I do not drink because when I was about 8th grade, okay, actually the summer break in between 8th and 9th grade, I got myself drunk with a wine, and it was so bad. I thought I'm gonna die, right? It's just literally, I thought that my life was sniffing out there. And once I do sober myself up and, you know, everything was behind my back, I said, alcohol, it is the only thing in this world that just literally doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It doesn't make any sense. It does you no good, okay? It fucks up your life, and pretty much it deteriorates your future. That's all it does. It's, if you are feeling bad and you drink alcohol, okay, you extinguish, say, that bad feeling by taking away happiness or borrowing happiness from the future, and then the future takes it away with interest. There is no case where the alcohol helped anybody. Well, neither does the milk, but that's besides the point. So that's why I don't drink, because I believe that alcohol, it doesn't make any sense. It is the only thing in the world that doesn't make any sense to use it whatsoever. Okay, so we do have a pretty interesting question here that it is submitted by Nishta. And the question is, what needs to be changed in my approach to talking dating man? That is a really, really good good question, which, by the way, is a perfect it's a perfect candidate to elemental dignities reading, okay? And if you are interested into the elemental dignities method, guys, there is a course that I have developed, which could be purchased by giving me an inquiry to my Facebook page or simply sending me an email. And it's basically a method that allows you to read cards in pairs and to identify, in this particular case that we are going to do, identify the wrongs into the flow. I don't know how to describe it, where things does not fit together, okay? Hello, Christy. All right, so in your case, we are looking for enemies, neutrals. So the first one, that will be the Three of Cups, which is catalyzed with the Two of Cups, okay? And the third one, that is going to be the Devil. So there are no neutrals, there are no enemies here. We do have a passive, we do have supporting and friends elemental dignity. So what needs to be changed? It is within the passiveness, and not within the passiveness, within the supporting part of the reading. These two cards, we do have the Devil and we do have the Three of Cups. Okay, so Nishta, these cards are showing that there isn't anything wrong with you, okay? In your approach, and especially the communication in between you and men. In fact, you do, according to these cards, you do show a very open approach toward man. What I mean is that within your performance with man, talking and dating, there is no pride and there is no shyness as well. Now, the problem that these cards are showing here when it comes to interactions with man, it is the point, I don't know how to describe it. It is the point where you think you are on the same page with them, okay? And it's kind of like a moment where your perception, or you have your perception that you do think that, you know, it's a similar, I don't know how to describe it. It's like you do have a similar vision, but you don't have a similar vision. And then you are trying to enforce your vision, thinking that they are going to be on the same page with you, but they aren't. I hope that that makes sense. So in order to overcome that, state, according to these cards at least, it will be just allow them to be the initiator, or allow them to lead, so to speak, because a time comes, according to these cards, that you do take over, okay, and I just, man feels overwhelmed from you. That is pretty much what these cards here are saying. But aside from that, there is nothing wrong with your approach toward man and you talking with man. In fact, according to these cards at least, you're doing a pretty good job to predispose man to be open and to be equal with one another. Oh, and another thing here that these cards may show, it is that, you know, you may have not stumbled to the right people, because according to the cards that I draw, you are a type of person who will expect the other side to traverse their path, okay? It's like not always you are going to be the one who carries on, and it's just there are people who are not willing to carry on themselves, or rather like to do the necessary part. And if that's the case, then again, the fault is not within you, it is just that was not the right person. Right, so a couple of minutes, and we are moving to the next 4 star signs. What did I miss? Just, Nietzsche, take it that way. Just whenever a situation in between you and a man arise, don't try to force the circumstances, don't try to solve the situation, okay? Let it be as it is, and that will work very much in your favor. You will see. Okay, that is the end of the first free reading, guys. The second free reading is going to take place after Scorpio. Oops. Which deck? The one that I'm reading, the star signs. Let me show you. Hold on a second. All right, so that's the box of the deck. Is called Heaven and Earth. Right, so Leo, first one you do have, guys, that will be the Four of Wands, followed by the second card here, which is going to be the Two of Cups. Moving next, we do have the King of Pentacles. And the last one that we do have, that will be the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So these four cards. Yeah, next reading is after Scorpio. So Leo, that will be a very, I don't know how to say it, solo transit for you. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be single out there. It is just a solo transit because you will have a very important things to get over with or to get done throughout the transit. I will draw one more card here to the King of Pentacles just to see. So we do have a Temperance, okay? And these two here, they do form a passive neutrals. And pretty much that is a person who will get out of their way to be in your help in some way. Together, you are going to create a very fortunate circumstances for you, that is. But for the most part, you will have to be on your own, finalizing an important cycles of development throughout that particular transit. Now, the worst thing you can do here is to consider that whomever it is your ally and it is your partner, it's equal to you. It isn't in either one or the other direction, and that is described here by the Two of Cups. If you do you know when you should be scary? Okay, when you go at work and everybody is pleasant with you, that means that something is cooking out there. Pleasant environment, very calm, and how can I say, placid, so to speak, environment. It is the environment where it's something, it is just it's seething beneath the surface, ready to be blown up. Tara, thank you so much for your $10 support. Let's hold on a second. Thank you so much. I'm gonna write you up here, and at the end of the live stream, I'm going to give you my contribution to you. And that will be a reading. As you do not have any inquiry with the super chat, it will be just a reading for the transit and how that transit is going to apply to you personally. And again, thank you so much. Right, so where were I? Yeah, pleasant environments, placid environments. That is the thing that you should pretty much try to avoid. And for the most part, that will be because probably there will be certain information which is to be not divulged or withheld, and the environment is to be placid, so you do not ask any questions whatsoever. And throughout the transit for you, Leo, there are going to be important matters that you will need to address, that you will need to attend. And if everything is calm, if everything is, how can I say, it's again placid, you will not gonna know what are the symptoms of your situation. You ain't gonna know what is wrong out there, okay? And that's why you should aim to kind of like fish in a muddy water, so to speak. But ultimately, with the help of that individual here, which is King of Pentacles, and now I'm going to tell you how to recognize that person. These people, they are very self-absorbed people, and they have accomplished the most part of their journey throughout life. That doesn't mean that they are old, though. They are just a successful individuals that doesn't care that much of the rest. But for some reason, they do see value either in you or in what you do, and they're just going to get out of their way to help you somehow. Now, their contribution as a, for example, financial offering or investment or whatever, is going to look very generous, and it is very generous, but their investment is not charity, okay? And they will expect something in return, but that expectations, it's a what I like to say, collateral expectation. So not necessarily their yearning or their yields, their yields are not going to deprive from you. They're just going to be results of your yields as well. But nonetheless, at the end here with the Wheel of Fortune, there are going to be seemingly random events, seemingly random circumstances, which are going to hugely or colossally unblock you. So if I have to describe it with an examples here, say you do have a personal business and you are struggling into your personal business, there isn't any purchase orders whatsoever. Well, towards the end of the transit, they're going to start raining down, right? Purchase order after purchase order after purchase order. And you, even at some points, you may feel struggling being able to process all of that it is coming your way. Same thing goes in terms of love. Say you're single and your love life is pretty much DOA, right? And towards the end of the cycle, suitor after person that gives you their attention and so on and so forth. You may struggle responding to all of them, being able to pretty much discover what each one of them has to offer. Whichever the case, these random circumstances are going to be a pivotal point for you to make a once in a lifetime change. Okay, that is your cue. Don't miss it. Lie. Well, I don't know how to say it, to be honest. I always thought that you pronounce Leo, right? Or it's not Leo. I know that it comes from lion, but you know, it's just, to me, comes naturally that it is Leo. I don't know. Or Leo. Which one is it, guys? Leo or Leo? Or maybe none of these? Yeah, make it rain, right? All right, so moving next, we do have Virgo. Leo, all right. So I was right all along. Okay. Well, also, I am a bit, I can't say baffled, but for example, which is right? Either or either? Which one is right? Because I am hearing it in movies, either or either way. Okay, either or either. Which one is right? All right, so Virgo, first one we do have for you guys, that will be the Queen of Cups. Moving next. Yeah, that is how you write it, but the first or the second, either or either, which one? The first or the second? The second one, either. All right. Well, I have heard people say it either. I like it better to call it either. Oh my God, the second one, that is going to be the Devil. Ooh. Followed by the third one, which is the Ten of Wands. Okay, so both are correct. Great, so I'm gonna just call it either because I like it better. We do have the Ten of Wands. And the last one here, that will be the Six of Cups. I'm not gonna take this one wrong this time around. So Six of Cups. And oh man. Olivia, no, Romania is native Latin, but Bulgaria isn't. Bulgaria is native Glagolic, so to speak, which transcends or transpires into the Greek alphabet and the Cyrillic alphabet. But Romania, they are native Latin, because the Romans made it that way. I don't remember why, but it's I am certain of it. Thank you so much, Jan. All right, so Virgo, it's my God, it's gonna be woo. So we do have the devil into the second position, and that's you are gonna bring, how can I say? I don't want to say hell on earth, but it's just how you're gonna happen to be pretty much unstoppable into the next 3 weeks. Okay, the devil into the second position, it puts on a front line that type of your nature, the indomitable type of your nature, the type of your nature, or the side of your nature where you just don't take no for an answer, and you always find your way. No matter what you do, always find your way to satiate your needs, to satiate your yearnings, to get what you want right there on spot. Now, because it is into the second position, that's not always going to be a great idea. In fact, for the most part, it's not going to be a great idea. And I will tell you why. Now, we do have the 10 of Wands here into the second position, or into the third position, I'm sorry. And the 10 of Wands here speaks that there are things you vow to be in, right? There are things that you pretty much signed up for, and you gotta see those things through. But halfway through the transit, you will kind of like have in your mind at least a better things to do, so to speak. And therefore, through that yearning to satiate your hungers, may that hungers be about money, may that hungers be about love, may that hungers be about, I don't know, fame, if you will, you will tend to abandon these promises of yours. No different than that, guys. Say you are working on a very important project, right? But simultaneously you do have a pretty important suitor, a person that you pretty much love, and you would do almost anything to be together. And you do have a very important evening where you have to do very important maneuvers on that project, but that person calls about and tells you, hey, I'm in town, do you want to meet? And so there it is, that devil that is going to speak, yes, I want to meet, and I'm going to, you know, the hell with it with the project. I will try to catch up later. Now I want to see that person, okay? And it's just putting on the first gear things that are not directly responsible for your well-being, because nothing may came out from that just one single night of date. And for that reason, we do have the Queen of Cups, which is into the very first position of the spread. And it does speak that you will have to stick with the long-term prospects out there, which means that into the next 3.5 weeks, if you do have a stable job, don't try to change your job. If you do have a relationship, despite that it may be a rocky one, you need to try to sustain that relationship. With the devil into the second position, it's going to be so easy for you to find somebody else, to cheat on your partner, to hang about, and so on and so forth. That's not the point here. You, Virgo, are going to be how can I say, be bestowed, so to speak, with a test. A test is going to be bestowed upon you, a test that you are going to be tested, and I'm sorry for my repetition here, how much you deserve what you want, and can you keep up to your word. And so you have to, because at the end here with the six of Cups, things are gonna take a really pleasant turn for you into your current endeavors, into your current career, into your current relationship as well, where career-wise, pretty much you are gonna push through the shenanigans and you're gonna end up doing only the pleasant stuff around. Where relationship-wise, with that card, Virgo, it seems that, you know, you are going to be bombarded, so to speak, with only a joyful and pleasant endeavors in terms of your love life. Now, if you are single, though, these cards here are urging you to try out your current options available one more last time. Okay. So if you still have a suitor that's, you know, things are almost over but not quite, try it one last time. Okay, if you do have an ex that it is round and about, try it one last time. Don't scratch it out. The devil is gonna make you fly forward toward new stuff, but they're not going to be long lasting, at least as the card sits into that position. So don't allow the devil to lie to you, okay? Because the devil doesn't come about with a ugly face, having horns and tail, and terrorizing your world. No, the devil comes as everything you have ever wanted, which is something you should have the inner strength to deny in the next 3.5 weeks. Hello, Shirlina. Well, you can rewatch you can rewind the Leo reading. I don't know if you can do that right now, but when the live stream is over, you definitely can do so. Thank you, Madeline. Right, moving next, we do have Libra on our hands. And the first card for Libra, that will be the 10 of Pentacles. Followed by the second one, that will be the Princess of Wands, or we do have the Page of Wands here. Then the third card for Libra, that is going to be the Tower card. And the last card for Libra, we do have the 7 of Wands. And just give me a second here, guys. So this is how things are gonna roll for you, Libra. You are to, I don't know how to call it even, stumble upon something, okay, something big. It could be some kind of an information. It could be some kind of a, I don't know, some kind of a situation, or it could be you may stumble upon some kind of an accomplishment and achievement. Now, the big problem with that good fortune, which by the way may be very unexpected good fortune, it is that is gonna cross paths with somebody in a negative way, this person, okay? And the catalyst to them is the Emperor, those two cards. So that is a very not formidable, but a dangerous, okay? That is a very dangerous fall that you may have in front of you. Now, these people, they think that they're in control, okay, or at least they're trying to be in control of everything that is going on around. Usually these people, they are always oriented toward the future, and they do prefer to explore. In other words, they're willing to give a go to anything that comes their way, regardless of how ridiculous and, I don't know, preposterous even it does look like. And their undoing, okay, their how can I say, their downfall, it's the impression, their own impression, that they're almighty, that they can handle pretty much everything. Now, how you're going to recognize that individual? Well, they are very carefree and they do want to have attention. It's as simple as that. They do always want to be the one that everybody looks toward. And they seem very strong outside, but actually within themselves, they are very, very fragile, very touchy, and they remember, okay? So when you kind of like say something against them, they are going to remember that, even though they may give an impression that they don't care about it at all. They do care, and they do care for it a lot, and that is what makes them very dangerous for, because you will have a very hard time identifying who that person is. And what happens here is when you do stumble on that very important thing, okay, which may be an information, which may be, like I said, an accomplishment, which may be a job, or say a person, for example, that will undermine their control. It takes away their control. For example, you may stumble upon a person that you're going to get along very well with, and that happens to be their, for example, girlfriend, okay? And they feel that they're losing control over that person, and that makes them your foe. And Page of Wands, man, they are very immature in the sense of that they act first and then they think. So this person can do a lot of stupid things around, okay? They really can do a lot of stupid things around. So prepare yourself for some kind of shenanigans. Prepare yourself as well for some kind of unpleasant scenes that are to come around. Now, when I say the person, that is highly likely. Now we do have on the first and the third position here. Okay, so let me assemble the cards one more time. So on the first and on the third position, we do have the Ten of Pentacles, and then it is the Tower card. Okay, and they can strongly suggest quite of an unexpected reconnection with the past, like an ex that you have not heard from for a very, very long time comes about, and you kind of like catch up with one another. Now, this isn't necessarily where you are going to revive back certain emotions and so on and so forth, but that ex, it's likely to have that very jealous boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever that is not going to look upon that reunion very lightly at all. And with the Tower card here, this reunion, so to speak, will be a bit shocking, but it could go a long way. Not necessarily jumping back into a relationship. You can just, get back a very loyal friend back around. Aside from that, next 3 weeks should be very profitable for you, Libra, I'm sorry. So any investment that you do plan to do, investment like money investment like performance, investment like even time, attention, or dedication, whatever that investment is, it should pay off a big time. And even more investments are gonna build up a personal independence. For example, you can invest in a car, or in a vehicle, so to speak, which is going to build up a personal independence. You can invest in a home. Even more, if you do have certain loans and you do have a chance to repay them back, that is an investment that is going to build up personal independence, and that is something that you should strive to invest. And it's simply this transit here for you, Libra. It's a transit where it's going to place you in a very, very comfortable spot. And that will be a problem, guys, because this person, regardless if it is about a love triangle or whatever, they will grow very jealous of you. We do have the Seven of Wands at the end, okay? Jealous to a point where they will try to knock you off that comfortable place, okay, that you may find yourself in, career or relationship-wise. And bye-bye, Big Bear. Bye-bye. Hopefully you do have a great evening, and thank you for sticking around. So the way that they will try to knock you off your pleasant place is by spreading lies, rumors, fallacies for you. And the only way how you can react here, Libra, is to confront those lies straight away. You do not ignore here. You do confront and you do attack that person's personality and the credibility of their words straight away. And that is how you pretty much are going to overcome the situation. Well, Debbie, this is the only reasonable thing to do when you do find a third party situation. I always kind of like found, I don't want to send my, I don't want to render verdicts here, guys. I'm just expressing my points of view. As soon as I see that, for example, somebody I'm interested in are interested in somebody else, I immediately cut off, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for me to strive for that thing if I'm not the most important person for that person. Then what's the point? And that is just from my perspective, because the thing it is that I always kind of like found it very strange when people say, well, I love that woman, or I love that man. They may not pay attention to me right now, but I'm gonna fight for the love. That is such a strange statement, because you just can't fight for love. The love is free like the wind, and you may try to catch it, or to even trap it, if you will, but it's always going to find its way. And you can fight for love if you are in love with somebody, they're in love with you, but you do have certain predicaments to be together, then that's fine. You can fight for love there. But fighting someone to start loving you, that's just, I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem tangible at all. Wow. Yeah, exactly. My star sign is Scorpio, Christy. I think I have my full information on my Facebook page, my date of birth, and as well the hour of birth. Everybody can check me out. I do think that is only fair, where, my information is transparent to you. Lawrence, welcome, Lawrence. Now we are to Scorpio. We are approaching Scorpio, and cross your fingers, because I really hope this is going to be a great one for us. And the very first card, of course, is going to be Temperance. Followed by the Devil card. Fuck. All right. So, third one we have, that is going to be the Two of Pentacles. And the last one here, we do have the Moon card. All right, so it's a great one. We can stalk him. Who can you stalk? Oh, no. My information, I mean my date of birth and hour of birth, I believe. Or I may be wrong that I have it there, okay? But no, my personal phone number, no, guys. No, nobody has that, okay? Nobody has that. Because for personal readings, I don't use Viber, WhatsApp, or whatever, because it does divulges personal phone numbers, and I just don't. Any case, Scorpio, my friends, brethren, it's gonna be a tough cycle for us. Because the Devil, again, it does sit into the second position, and it comes it comes neutral to the Temperance card. So what happens, it is that we will have to learn a lesson. Not again, yeah, well, I am not thrilled either, okay? But we will have to learn a lesson. It's pretty much this transit is going to be very spiritual for us, for all of us. And that lesson is that we are not always right. And by the way, and this time around, we will realize that we are not this time around right by a large margin. Literally what happens here is that we are going to enter into the transit with the outdated beliefs, outdated concepts, even if you will, outdated goals. And this transit in a hard way is going to teach us to readopt or readjust our beliefs, concepts, and as well, if you will, even goals. To a point where at the end, it's storm is brewing. No, not exactly storm, Ginger. It's more like self-realization here that we do have. But bottom line is that at the end of the transit here, as we do have the moon card, well, then you are in a pretty good hands. Chemo say, you are in a pretty good hands. In any case, at the end of the transit, we are going to be rehabilitated or readjusted, so to speak. And by learning this lesson, we are going to also learn how to rightfully approach our career duties, how to rightfully approach our relationships as well, how to rightfully approach people, how to rightfully approach life. And the transit itself is going to be very thoughtful, so to speak, because what happens there is that into our enterprises, we are always, at the end of the day, we are going to be able to find the appropriate response, okay, to people we love, to people that loves us as well, despite if we are going to end up being with them or not. Even if we have to cut them loose, we are going to find the appropriate response to do so, so we do maintain the respect out there. So whatever it is about to end, should there be something ending for us, is going to end in a good terms into the next 3 weeks. And if something is to be established into the next 3 weeks, is going to be established in a good terms and for all of the right reasons. The problem is, it is that devil, like I said, into the second position, which is where our full potential is to be withheld for the time being, because that potential is directed or shaped for the outdated concepts and outdated beliefs, and we just have to readjust. Regardless, at the end of the transit here, we as a Scorpio are going to find themselves on the right track. Okay, that just as much as I can say. We are going to find ourselves on the right track with life, either career-wise or either relationship-wise. Now, if we are to end up in love or end up in a relationship into the next 3 weeks, well, that is our person, okay? If we do end up in a new job, that is our job. It's pretty much, that will be something very important for us, and it is something we have been meant to experience. Okay, so it will be important not to try to stifle or muffle it, or in generally to, how can I say, to suppress it. Yeah, it's just the door is open to the patio, and I heard a sound. Maybe I am stalked. I just heard a sound like a branch being struck. Right, so now we are entering into the second break. And again, guys, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to input your question here into the comments. Whomever of you wants a free reading with me, that is the way you get it. Stick around to one of the breaks of the live streams, input your question once I do announce the break, that I am announcing it now. And at the end of these 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one question and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. I almost was about to tell you what I am doing right now, but you know, you are watching me. I don't know if you are watching me from the bushes, but you're definitely watching me here on the stream. No, it's not warm. It's cold, and it is a delicious coffee. Oh, Robin, I'm sorry. I'm sorry so much. That is always a tragic way to go. It's uh, it's such a waste. Stalkers, all of them, eh? So, guys, aside from this free reading, if you do wish a personal reading of yourself, you can check out the oh my god, you can check out the description here of the live stream. There you're going to find a link to my website, where at the very front page you can view all of my services and as well their pricing. And of course, anybody who supports the live stream through the super chat is going to get their reading at the end of the live stream regardless. That is from the Nightmares of Elm Street. 1, 2, Freddy comes for you, right? Nah, yeah, that's pretty creepy. Hello, Aquadeb. Thank you so much for your 4.99 support. Make sure you do stick around up until the end of the live stream, where I'm gonna make you a personalized reading for the transit. Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, we do have an expression in our country that pretty much states that on someone else's back, 100 lashes are not enough. So yeah, I can handle it, I guess. Yeah. No, all right. So Aries girl, let's see if you are going to meet somebody normal, somebody that is not self-absorbed, so to speak. Oh my God, Robin, your country, it's cruel. It's so cruel. All right, Aries, we do have the Six of Swords, followed by the Magician. Moving next, we do have the Four of Cups. And the last one, that is going to be the Ace of Swords. So we do have these four cards. And unfortunately, again, those four cards, okay? Unfortunately, that is not going to happen on its own. It's not going to happen on its own. What these cards are divulging, it is that you are looking for somebody in the wrong social circle or just the wrong people. Your criteria for the perfect man is just the wrong criteria, and that is what the cards point. If you do keep up with the same type of character, it's just you are never going to be liked for who you are, and they are always going to be about themselves. So what you need to do here, as the Four of Cups divulge, okay, is just look out elsewhere. Just look at it that way. You are looking into these cups, okay, which are everything you have looked up by now and everything that you are having as a criteria, while the real thing that you are looking for is beside you, but you are not looking into it because you don't have it as a criteria right now. So think about that and try to pretty much approach the individuals, or rather like the people that you are about to date, or the type of people that you are to date, from a different angle with different criteria. And by the end of November, you should end up with somebody that's is going to be pretty gentle and how can I say, pretty into you, so to speak. But it's going to be different from anybody you have dated thus far. Ginger, thank you so much for your $5 support. Make sure you do stick around up until the end of the live stream, where I'm going to perform you a personal reading for the transit and how the transit is going to affect you personally. So maybe that was not what you have expected to hear, but that is what it's going to take. Okay. You know, I read for a friend once, and that friend had a similar question. Something like what they had to do in order to, I don't know what was it, you know, to do something, whatever. And I told them what they have to do, and they said, you know, well, there is no way I'm going to do that. Well, what my response was, the tarot doesn't concern itself with what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Your question was what I have to do, and they told you what you have to do. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't do it. But if you don't do it, you ain't gonna reach the result you're looking for. So Aries girl, pretty much that's what the card said about your thing, that you're just not looking into the right people or in the right social circle. Okay, couple of minutes, guys, and after that we are jumping to the last 4 star signs, which are going to be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. But I feel you, Aries girl, because I myself, I am very picky, okay? Very picky, and that works to my detriment very much. And truth be told, I do prefer to be alone if I will not gonna get what I want. So Delft? What is Delft? I don't know. There is a watermill on my cup, but it doesn't say what it is. What is this? Everberg. It says Everberg. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right because it's German. It says East Germany. I'm sorry. I always drink a cold coffee. Do you know what I do, guys? Okay, that may shock you, especially Cinnamon Kiss. But what I do is, because right now is 3:40 a.m. at the morning. When I'm done with the live stream, you know, I'm gonna wait until the metro runs, which is 5:30. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make myself a coffee, and probably I'm not gonna drink it straight away. I'm gonna go to sleep, and when I wake up, I'm gonna have my coffee there waiting for me, entirely cold, and I have no problem with it. Okay, so yeah, it's I do drink my coffee cold. Aries, girl, that's not true, because I don't judge people. That's the thing with me, you know, everybody has their own struggle and their own battle, and therefore, unless you do not hurt, I will not say it because it's gonna go against, but unless you don't do harm, okay, I do not judge. You do have your own vision of how you're gonna get happy or happy, and everybody is entitled to their own happiness. If you don't do anything about it, nobody is gonna do it for you. So by all means, you just do whatever makes you happy. But again, you asked if you're gonna find somebody that is gonna be devout to you and not to themselves. That is how I got the answer, and you will if you do look into a different type of man. Yeah, I'm 7 hours ahead from East Coast. Destined love, there is no, well, that is the thing in tarot. There are three types of love. One is described by the Hierophant, the other one obviously by the Lovers, and the third one that is by the High Priestess. Or if we have to classify them, we do have the High Priestess, then it is the Hierophant, and then it is the Lovers, right? And the Lover signifies the true love, and true love for tarot is very different from what people understand what true love is. Because what people understand as a true love is when you do get along very well together, right? When you both love skiing, you both love traveling, let's say, you both love nice restaurants, you know, you do have a similar interests. And that is the love of the Hierophant, not of the Lovers. Lovers love, it's very strange love. That is something that Aries girl, for example, has to experience, because lovers, it is when the yin and yang pretty much face each other. And in my tarot deck, that is how I do describe the lovers. I really want to show you guys, but my publishing studio advised me not to show the cards in front of everybody. Half of the cards are almost ready. okay? And probably by the end of the year, the whole deck is going to be ready. But in any case, that is when the yin and yang pretty much face each other. And it does describes two parts of one whole, or two wholes of one part, kind of like collides. And yin and yang, they are a perfectly matching opposites. So pretty much that true love, it is when you do fall in love with somebody that doesn't make sense to fall in love with. You are completely different, okay? And there is nothing in common. It is just what you are, they aren't, and vice versa. And it doesn't make any sense to love each other, and yet you love each other, and therefore it's a true love, because it doesn't make any sense. And what doesn't make any sense, it cannot be destroyed. That is also the true evil, for example. True evil, it doesn't make any sense, and that's why it's true evil, because you cannot connect it with anything. It just exists. It's there. While with the Hierophant love, you do get to know each other, you build up trust because you do have similar interests, and so on and so forth, and that is the real love, right? There is a difference in between the real one and the true one. And then the High Priestess, it is when the souls bond in between each other, and that is the soul bond love, or how people like to call it, twin flame, soulmates, you name it. So that is pretty much the difference. But there is no such thing as the destined love, because you can fall in love with an archetype, not with John, James, Miranda, or whatever. All right, you are destined, or rather like you fall in love with a specific archetype that can refer to that person, this person, or the other person. I hope that makes sense. Well, Cratchit, it's pretty hot here as well. Right now is about 32 degrees outside, and that is in Celsius. It's ridiculously hot this summer. All right, so let's move to the star signs. First one that we do have from the last 4 star signs, that is going to be the Sagittarius. So first card we do have for Sagittarius, that will be the 4 of Cups, followed by the second card here, which is the 6 of Pentacles. Moving next, guys, we do have the Strength. And the last card for Sagittarius, that is going to be the King of Pentacles. What do you mean they're opposite? All right, just hold on a second, guys. All right, so I don't... What do you mean, Robin? It is like manifesting for somebody that doesn't want it. I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. So Sagittarius, well, next 3.5 weeks can go 2 ways. Okay. One of the way here, it is when you do accept your position, okay? You do accept how things are going into your career, you do accept how things are going into your relationship, and you just enjoy your time, okay? Just enjoy the results. You just enjoy your results, and you think nothing of them, all right? And you just carry on. And then what happens here, it is that the transit itself is going to go very uneventful, in the sense of that there are not going to be any new enterprises. And towards the end of it though, you will find yourself having some additional resources, you know, something like some additional time to spare, some additional money to spare, some additional, in generally, energies to spare, and you are going to start looking around to invest those resources into something very fruitful, which by the way is going to be a great investment. However, there are going to be more from you, that is a people who are going to show that side of the human nature where, you know, no matter how much you have, are just simply not enough. And that will be a good approach for you guys, because then what happens is that you're going to realize that despite that you're finding yourself in a really good situation in terms of career or in terms of love into the next 3.5 weeks, you can go for more straight away, and that is going to make you very thoughtful. I don't know how to say it. It's just you're going to start looking for opportunities left, right, and center, and eventually you're going to stumble on a certain opportunity. Now, this opportunity is going to prove itself to be a bit tough. It's going to prove itself to be a bit challenging, and that is going to be the beauty of it out there. Okay, and it's just that is going to ignite your determination, your passion, your interest into a something that is not exactly typical. It is either atypical for you and as well for your performance, for your unfoldment. So you can expect to have some interesting how can I say, experience into the next 3.5 weeks, which again is going to call for some investments, which investments are going to be simply, how can I say, worth your while. But regardless how you choose to spend your time, something else very different, very not different, but interesting is going to take place. And that is the Six of Pentacles into the second position. Now, what I said at the start of this live stream, it is that the second position, it is what holds you back. But here, actually, it doesn't hold you back. Okay, that is one of the rare cases when the negativity works in your favor. And the negativity, it is that the the structure of the hierarchy is not going to be sound and safe, is not going to be in place. And you can definitely escalate your position into the hierarchy of your family, of your relationship, or of your job as well. What this card here points, it is that no one's place is safe, yours or anybody else. And so if you are tenacious enough, if you are, how can I say, competitive enough, you definitely can knock off a lot of competition along the way and get what you are striving for. Thank you, John. I am not that young. I'm 35. That is like middle age. You're welcome, Max. You're welcome, Cinnamon. Nah, guys. 38 isn't that bad. Come on. Right, so Capricorn. Funny thing, guys, before I go to Capricorn, when I was 29, very close to become 30, I thought, my God, life is over. What I'm gonna do? I'm 30 years old, right? I am getting older. Terrible. And when I turned 30, I never felt better. It's just, I don't know, it's like the prime of my strength came about. And so, yeah, it's just, I just never felt better. And my mom says that 30, 40, and 50s, okay, these are the best years that you can have. So, yeah, we are in our best years. Hello, miss. Okay, so Capricorn, a first one is going to be the Emperor, followed by the Two of Cups. Moving next, that will be the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. And the last one for you, Capricorn, that is going to be the King of Swords. Oh, Tarot, happy birthday. Thank you. Happy birthday, Tara. Well, Capricorn, there are going to be some, with these cards, there are going to be some discrepancies that you will have to clear out into the next 3 weeks. What we do have here is some, how do you call it, awkward positions in between you and somebody into your surrounding. Very well might be your beloved one. Very well might be as well your child. It could be also a member of your family. It is just, this is how the transit is going to play out for you, that you both have to find a way to pretty much live with each other and to pretty much get along with one another. But the thing here is that the majority of this responsibility is gonna be borne on your shoulders rather than on the shoulders of the other person. And thus, how can I say, either all the results or either all the rewards of that or all the blame for it is gonna fall on you, regardless of how you are going to approach that situation. So what is advisable here, according to these cards, is truly take your time to think about carefully about your approach, how you are approaching your child, how you are approaching, you know, your beloved one, for example, even colleagues at work as well, because how can I say, trying to maintain harmony, it's not gonna work out. And what I mean here is trying to maintain harmony, like everything is okay. Say your child does something that it is against what you have taught them. Say your child does something to which seriously undermine everything you believe in, and you just, so your child feels good, you don't do anything about it, all right, and you pretend that nothing ever happened. That is not the way how you do approach the situation. Throughout the next 3 weeks, you really have to show that you can navigate your life with pretty much a strong hand, that it is, I don't know, that it is a glove with an iron glove, all right, and that you can control your relationship, that you can control your career as well, that you can control everything that depends on you in your life, and that you can make the tough calls, that you can make the tough decisions. And that will be especially true if you do own a business, if you do, how can I say, if you are the man in your love life, if you will. And it will be a difficult transit for you, because it's going to be back and forth. You know, while it may seem that you have reached a conclusion with that person, suddenly things go different way and so on and so forth. But at the end of the transit here, through a very, very careful analysis on your situations, career-wise and even relationship-wise, a way out of these difficulties is going to be found. Now, on a more global scale, for you Capricorn, next 3 weeks are going to be pivotal, where you have to organize yourself, okay? Organize your business, organize your relationship, organize your vacation, if you will, organize everything that's it's pretty much out of its control, regardless how others are going to face it. Now here we are not talking about organize everything in a way that is going to be comfortable for everybody, but organize it in a way that simply things are going to work out, despite how comfortable people that are involved in are going to feel about it. And organize it in such a way that there is no resource leaking, okay? Like time, like money, like, if you will, dedication. And at the end, everything is gonna fit up so well that your life will become your life, what I mean, your career or your relationship or your family, if you will become well-oiled machine that simply everything serves its purpose in it. Not what it is best for them, come say. What it is best for the situation, okay? What it is best for the situation. That is what they need. This is the difference in between the guys, in between the Empress and in between the Emperor, which is something I am also, oh my God, I forgot the word, explaining into my classes. Now, imagine that. What does the Empress gonna do if the Empire loses a battle, and what does the Emperor gonna do if the Empire loses a battle and loses a fortress? Okay, so imagine that the fortress is lost, and those who how can I say, captured the fortress, they are sending an ultimatum to the Empire, to the Empress and to the Emperor, stating that if the Emperor does not forfeit that fortress, they're gonna slaughter everybody in, okay? And what does the Empress gonna do? The Empress is gonna forfeit the fortress for the sake of everybody that is within the fortress, while the Emperor is going to sacrifice everybody in the fortress for the sake of the wholeness of the Empire. That is the difference in between the Emperor and in between the Empress. And here the Capricorn needs to act like the Emperor, to do what is best for the situation, not what is best for the people in it. Even if that means that they have to sacrifice from themselves as well. Right, so moving next, we do have Aquarius. So for Aquarius, the first one, it is going to be the Knight of Pentacles, not catalyzed, followed by the Knight of Swords. Moving next, we do have the Seven of Cups. And the last card for you, Aquarius, that will be the Six of Pentacles. So these 4 cards. And here goes a little bit opposite to the Capricorn reading. So you guys are gonna enter into this transit with a pretty solid plan, okay? And it seems that you would really gonna know what you want from your situation in terms of love life and in terms of career as well. And your actions, the more you perform into your career and into your love life, the more determined you are going to seem, which is going to breed a lot of confidence into the people that are assessing you, for example, into the people that are counting in you, and so on and so forth. Even so, it's very important, it's very possible here that there is going to be a jump into love endeavors, okay, like into new or either old branches of love, and situations which beforehand may seem very celluloid, like, you know, very wishful, that you did not saw anyway how these situations can become true. Now they are within your grasp, okay? They are pretty much achievable at that point. And the problem here, this person, this one here, Knight of Swords, which is catalyzed with the Four of Cups. We do have these two active neutrals, and it's pretty much that person is not happy at all of what plan you have, because this plan goes against their own plan. And how they do, well, pretty much they are not people that are very bruising in general. They're not a formidable foe, just like, for example, the Page of Wands was for one of the star signs. I believe it was Taurus, if my memory is not beguiling me right now. But Knight of Swords, they will try to convince you that what you are about to do here in terms of either love or in terms of either career is something you do not want. Okay, it's something that you are not going to be happy with. So it's kind of like trying to sway you off your rational thought. It's trying to create a disbalance in between your logic and in between your emotions as well, because that will be the key into the next 3 weeks for you, Aquarius, to make decisions in such a way that they are logically proven and simultaneously they are emotionally supported, meaning that you do what you feel is right and it does make sense, both of things simultaneously. And at the end, as we do have here the Six of Pentacles, okay, at the end of the cycle, Six of Pentacles pretty much means that you are setting things as they're supposed to. Six of Pentacles, it is the little brother of the Hierophant, and it pretty much states that the hierarchy is to be brought to bear. All right, and that you're going to find yourself exactly where you belong. You will find your relationship, or you're going to set your relationship to be exactly as your relationship belongs to be. And same thing goes into your career, for your career as well, which pretty much speaks that a lot of concerns that you may have at that point, for example, where you're going to find money from, for example, you know, how you're going to solve that dispute and so on and so forth. These things are to start solving themselves here, not because of some kind of a miracle, all right, not because of some kind of a how can I say, some kind of a random events, but because you have done the right things in order to reach to that resolution. Now, one thing it's important to be acknowledged for you, Aquarius, it is that at the end of the transit, the future developments of your situations are going to start depending only on you and your own personal performance. There you may actually take on certain help that may come your way, but this help only is going to postpone the inevitable. At the end, you alone have to pick up yourself together and do what it is needed in order to accomplish harmony into your relationship, or harmony into your career, or success into your career. But again, guys, next 3 weeks are 3 weeks where you need to start thinking big, all right? You need to start dreaming big, because these big dreams, they are not fantasies, guys, but they are seeds growing. Hello, Kerry. You are welcome, Sarah. All right, so last but not least, Pisces. After that, the third and final free reading is going to take place. And after that free reading, super chat readings are going to take place as well. So make sure, guys, you do stick around up until the end. Yeah, Aquarius really need not just only dream big, they have to start doing something towards it. Like I said, that their plans are gonna have their plans are gonna be tangible, okay? And that's why they have to make big plans. Big, but in the same time, a simple plans. All right, so Pisces, the Lover's card, followed by the High Priestess. Okay. And after that, we do have the King of Cups. And then that will be the Chariot. I will need a minute here. Yeah, I'm trying to now. This is a quite complex one. Man, this is, oh my God. We're talking about the love life here, and it's so complicated. Oh my God. Yeah, that is about very, very complicated love situation that we have on our hands. It's because, well, that is how it comes, guys. Next 3.5 weeks, most likely, I'm saying most likely, you are to be addressed with a love proposition in one or another way. All right, as a form. It could be through a text message, it could be through a hint, you know, or it could be straight away divulged to you. And that is going to throw you in a rather very, very complicated situation. First of all, that High Priestess into the second position, which points what truly holds you back. And that is going to be the understanding that, you know, that is your cue. But for one or another reason, that cue is going to be unfathomable to your current is going to be unfathomable and as well unreciprocative. Oh my God, that's not a word. It's like it's not going to reciprocate to your conditions right now. Okay, so that will make it extremely difficult, that thing to take place, you know, this love situation to take place. And that is going to start killing you from within. It's and that is why it's going to be complicated. Okay, it's just, it's going to be a strong situation, and that will be the problem, because it's a strong situation and because right now it's not going to be tangible situation, or rather like tangible law. And it's just, you will have to make your peace with it, unfortunately, here. What I mean is that you need to accept that it is what it is, and you just have to wait your time to come about where you can do something about it, because for the time being, you just won't be able to. And aside from that, in the lovers, when you are addressed with that proposal, when you are addressed with that proposition, you will kind of like feel very well. You're going to feel very good, because it will be something you have either expected, or it's going to be something that you have anticipated at that point, and it simply is going to set your life into harmony, and your emotional state into harmony. But what is the Redeemer here? It is the Chariot at the end of the reading, which pretty much states that there is that there is going to be a triumph against the odds, no matter what the situation is, even if the situation is Romeo and Juliet type of a situation. But definitely we do have some kind of a proposal that is going to touch you emotionally. Okay, it's going to be very, very deep one. And that will be the problem, because the current situation just does not allow that proposal to develop, to unfold, and it goes against what has to be done. But it will be something you want to do, and that is what makes it complicated. Okay, but at the end, like I said, with the Chariot, regardless about the odds, you guys will be able to pull it through if you do have. If you have armed yourself with your iron will and determination things to happen, you are going to accomplish wish fulfillment, luck of the hard work that you're going to put behind it, and in general, you're going to be proud that you have persevered and you were able to push it through. So that was about Pisces. And now the third and the last free reading is going to take place. So all that you have to do in order to qualify for the free reading, guys, is just input your question into the comments of the live stream. And when the time runs out, which is, by the way, 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one question, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. And after that, the super chat support readings are going to take place. Everybody who supported the live stream through super chat is going to take their reading no matter what. They're going to have their reading no matter what. You're welcome, Cinnamon. Oh my God, Robin, you couldn't be further from the right on the truth, I would say. Not further from the truth, but right on the truth. Ever since I was 14 years old, life taught me to have no expectations. And do you know how many times I got disappointed after that? I don't remember. Okay, because every time I have an expectation, no matter what happens, I do end up disappointed, guys. So I have no expectations whatsoever about anything, and that makes me always in the surplus plus area. Because no matter how bad things go, you know, it makes no difference, for I don't have no expectations. But everything that goes right, or everything that goes positive way, it's always a plus, a surplus to everything that I do and to everything that I am. So having no expectations is definitely the right way how you should go by life. That is at least according to my opinion. You're welcome, John. You're welcome, Ginger. Thank you so much for sticking around, guys. Well, throughout my life, I learned to look at the things from the bright side, guys. And I have a very good friend who is numerologist, okay? And that friend looked at my numerology diagram and told me that I'm gonna meet the true love when I'm about 65 years old. And when I look at it from the bright side, well, now at least I know that I'm gonna live that long. So, you know, coronavirus, you have no power here at all. That's a joke, of course. But I always tend to look at things from the bright side. So yeah, being alone, my point is that being alone, being single, look it from the bright side. You are free to do whatever you please without having anybody that you should feel entitled to. Hello, Christina. Well, yeah, probably because I moved my live streams from Facebook to YouTube. And that's why probably you haven't caught me live for ages, because I haven't been on Facebook for ages. Not ever since that thing with the Facebook page happened. Facebook truly disappointed me there. So it's really difficult for me to make content for Facebook, because, you know, it's just they didn't step up for me as their creator, or rather like as a creator on their platform. So it's really difficult for me to get back onto it and create stuff for it, you know. All right, so the question that I'm going to pick up is submitted by Sue, and that is, what is blocking me from achieving my full potential? So let's have a look, Sue. Yeah, I am quoting the Lord of the Rings, you know, you have no power here. Yeah, exactly. I am an introvert as well. I like playing video games, watching science videos, you know, these documentaries and so on and so forth. And the lockdown, actually, it was a really pleasant time for me, to be honest. So what blocks you, Sue? We do have the devil, catalyzed by the Eight of Wands, and then the third one, that is going to be the Six of Swords. Okay, so these three cards, and it's pretty straightforward. It's blocking you because you do tend to do whatever you like rather than whatever you have to. That's pretty much what blocks you to unfold your full potential. There are certain moments and situations that you just have to do something which, you know, makes you uncomfortable, which makes you fearful even of the result, which makes you, how can I say, awkward, so to speak, to feel awkward. And you just have to do it if you do want progress. Something that happens to be a new way of doing stuff, so to speak. But you tend to do whatever you like, and I would say probably being locked in your own patterns. So that is what you gotta do. Break your old patterns and try to approach things from a very different perspective. And by the way, right now it is the time for you to pretty much start doing something about your dreams. Okay, just start doing something about your dreams, even if these dreams look very distant, because just thinking about your dreams are not going to get your dreams done. They are not thinking about your dreams are not going to manifest your dreams, as just is going to make them more and more distant. So yeah, it's that is pretty much what blocks you according to these tarot cards. All right, so Ginger, you also want to know what blocks you as well. And I'm pretty sure you do have a super chat. Yeah, okay, so that is something that I'm going to do for you. Just let me put that question as well here. And a couple of minutes, guys, and I'm gonna move to the super chat readings. What do you work, Tara? You're welcome. You love to cook? The only thing I can cook Robin, it's eggs with ham. Okay, I just mix eggs with ham, and that's the only thing I can cook. But I do really delicious ice cream as well. That is the second thing I can do. It's really delicious one, and it's really cheap one to perform, and it's amazing. My father taught me. It's my father. It's a baker. Yeah, that's the most basic stuff, isn't it? Eggs and ham. You just mix them together, and I do make ice cream, yeah. A true ice cream with cream in it, okay? With pretty much cream in it. Okay, so it's gonna be about transit for you, Ginger. Yeah, I love them too. Mandy, I do love my vibe too, and coffee. That is, I do have a sentimental value in terms of smoking and drinking coffee. And it goes like that, guys. When I was in the university, I paid for my university on my own because my family was very poor, all right? And it literally, when I was accepted in university, only thing they could have done is just pay my first semester, and that was it, And I very much, or rather, like very quickly, became aware how I can make money there, because I don't know how it is in United States or in every country into the world, but in my own university, you need to have a signature against pretty much every discipline that you do have in the semester that you are in. So every professor or everyone, anybody who teaches you, they need to put their signature that you have completed pretty much the how do you call the schedule, so to speak. And in order to do that, though, you have to present the projects that they give you. Okay, so for example, you do have a Newton mechanics, and they give you a 7 tasks to pretty much find a solution to. All right, 7 problems that you need to find a solution to mechanically wise. You do have a theory of the machine and mechanisms, and you do have 4 mechanisms that you have to determine their movement, their positions in 12 different angles, their velocities, their accelerations, and so on and so forth. Okay, and you got to do that to get the signature. And every single semester there was at least 3 disciplines, not 3, 2 disciplines that had these problems you have to solve. Okay, for example, the discipline not machine and mechanisms, but how was it called? Machine elements. You actually had to calculate and engineer a transmission. Okay, you just had to make a project over a transmission with all the calculations, all the gears in it, all the shafts, the body, and you have to draw it on a big sheets of paper, A0 even, and present it there, and then you have to defend it. They ask you questions, how you did that, how you did this, and you just have to defend it. And I was doing these for money. Okay, people came to me to pretty much construct their gears, and after that they present these gears or rather like these shift gears to the professors, and they got their signature. Okay, so I solved problems, rather like inquiries to other students, and that's how I paid all of my education. Well, no, I actually had a hard time finding my words right now. Okay, I just had a hard time finding my words. You can draw naked bodies. Well, I'm sure they would have signed it for you as well, Robin. But no, I can. By education, I'm a mechanical engineer. Which is something I probably never gonna work anymore. All right, let's move to the super chat reading, and the first one, that will be Esther Hemara, and it's about your transit, and the first card, that will be the Sun, which is going to be catalyzed, oh my god, with the Temperance. These two, Esther, and they do form, just hold on a second, they do form a active supporters, okay? And pretty much states that this transit for you is going to be very fruitful one. Now, what happens, it is that in many cases, you're gonna simply have an expanding energies of growth. Your career is gonna grow, all right? Your social circle is gonna grow. Your love life is gonna grow as well. And that growth is going to be the most natural thing that you have ever experienced. It's just there isn't gonna be any push that has to be made over there, okay? And you can expect throughout the next 3 weeks a lot of disputes to be resolved for you. And that doesn't going to be just because there is going to be a common ground. You may not reach a common ground with, say, your colleagues, or say with your supervisor, okay, or say even with your boyfriend, if you do have such. And it's just, you will learn to respect each other and to respect each other's opinion. And that is how the hatchets are going to be buried down. And simply this transit, Esther, you will be happy. You will find a way to become happy. Your happiness is going to be very contagious, and everybody that is around you is going to become happy as well. And yeah, Cinnamon Kiss, thank you so much for your 5 British pounds support. Thank you so much. Just let me put you into the list. Hold on a second. Now, Cinnamon Kiss, in order to answer that, I need to use another system, okay? And I need to warn you that you are asking me to make a decision for you. Do you really want me to answer that question? Chemosape, thank you so much for your $4.99 support. Thank you so much. Let me put you in the list as well. And I'm gonna answer your question. All right, so oh my God, up New York. Oh my God, thank you so much for your $25. Thank you so much. Let me put you into the list as well. Okay, so you do want that. When your time comes, I'm gonna go, because I don't have the system here. It's the Lenormand system, guys. For those who doesn't know, Lenormand aside from tarot, it does shows you events that are to happen, while tarot shows circumstances. These are two different things, okay? So tarot shows affinities, it does shows energies, while Lenormand, it does shows events. So you ask for it, you're gonna have it, okay? And the thing it is that with Lenormand, you do get to know your future, but you do not get to understand your future. So for example, Cinnamon Kiss, I may tell you that, you know, you're going to make a lot of money being famous amongst the crowd, let's say. And you would say, wait a minute, how is this even going to happen? Well, you don't get to know how this is going to happen. You don't get to know when this is going to happen. All right. So it's a very tricky system to use, because you do get to know your future, but you do not get to understand the future, because if you do understand it, you get to change it. Right, so next one on the list, that will be Malibu Ronin, and the card for you, first card for you is the Eight of Swords, and oh my god, it's going to be catalyzed with the King of Wands. Malibu, this transit is going to be a pivotal transit for you to truly unfold yourself and set all of your ambitions into motion and into a drive. What these cards are talking about here, okay, it is that you are going to find out that you are far stronger and far more capable than you think you are, and that will allow you to just put, like I said, all of your ambitions into motion. So if you do have an ambition to open your private thing, then go ahead and do it within the next 3.5 weeks. But these cards in personal, not performance, but a presence, okay? These cards in presence, they are ridiculously strong, okay? But pretty much what happens here is that you may realize that you are far more handsome and beautiful than you think you are, okay? And just improve your how can I say, and far more attractive than you think you are, and just improve in generally the way how you interact with people. It will bring down boundaries, it will bring down you know, shyness, it will bring down as well a points of how can I say, a points of mismatch, if you will. And it's just, you will be like a magnet for a people that will want not just only your attention, but as well also your company. But definitely there are going to be limits that you have lived by up until this moment that no longer are going to be in place. That will open your options available just hugely, a big time. Yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. So what I can do for you, it is to tell you the tendencies, if you have that possibility, and how strong that possibility is, Cinnamon Kiss. But how you're gonna manifest it, well, that is entirely up to you to decide. That, to me, that is the better version of doing it. All right, so moving next, we do have Sarah, and I'm gonna butcher your surname, I'm sure. No, I just can't pronounce that, Sarah. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I'm gonna butcher it so bad. So Sarah, your card is Seven of Cups, and what we want here is an Earth card, okay? But we do have an Air one, all right? So we do have these two. These are a passive neutrals, and so seven of Cups with the Five of Swords. And the good thing about these cards, it is that you are to dodge a certain bullets. What I mean is that certain people that will try to how can I say, humiliate you emotionally, so to speak, you will be able to very subtly deflect that attack, so to speak. Also, these cards are very favorable in terms of placing trust. What I mean is that you are going to be you will have an extra awareness whom is not going to betray your trust, in whom is going to betray your trust. Now, these cards are not very good, however, understanding how far you can go with something. And before you know it, you may be neck deep into a situation that you don't want to involve yourself into. And in these situations, now the good thing is that the worst thing that it is to happen into these situations is just you are going to end up disappointed by walking out of them once the situation develops. But it's just it will be an unnecessary disappointment. So the way how you do avoid that, it is by having no expectations first, and second, it is by being grounded, being very objective about what you have been told and what it is developing around you. If someone tells you things that they sound way too good to be true, they are way too good to be true, okay? And just take them with a grain of salt. So, Cinnamon Kiss, I don't get it. You do want the Lenormand one or you do want the Tarot one? Which one do you want? All right, so next one, that will be Tara McCarthy. And the first card for Tara, that will be the Ten of Swords. The second one, that will be the Three of Pentacles. These three cards. And these two cards, I'm sorry, I don't see three cards. I'm not that sleepy. So Tara, unfortunately, girl, you do have the combo for Betrayal. I don't know how to put it here in words. It's simply some kind of a support, help, things you have expected somebody to do for you. They're not going to come about, okay, in the next 3.5 weeks. And yeah, it's just a betrayal that comes. And I don't know what to advise you unless to move on. Okay, that's pretty much what those cards here are divulging. So if you are expecting somebody to, you know, to come to your aid that they have promised, if you do expect to get a support through your development, it's highly likely that it's not going to come about. Okay, and that may happen even into the very, very last second, you know, at the very last second when it is very important that you got supported, that you do got that aid is not going to come about. So the more you depend on yourself in the next 3.5 weeks, the better. The more you do not make cooperations at all, the better, all right? And the more you do not listen to criticism, the better. Now, from the plus side, next 3.5 weeks are going to be weeks where you will have to make some pretty definitive decisions and actions, you know, decisions that cannot be taken back and actions that cannot be taken back as well. And before you do those decisions and those actions, it will pay off big time if you do make a retrospective. You just draw a line and see what took you to that point and make your informed decision or action about your future, which is going to provoke simply a new era in your life. Those decisions may be about quitting your job and looking for a new one, all right, or just cutting off your relationship and, you know, going for a new one. But unfortunately, Tara, it's you will be a victim of betrayal, at least according to my tarot cards. So next one, that is going to be Aquadeb, and that transit for you, Aquadeb, is going to, or Debbie, is going to bring you 6 of Cups with the Page of Cups. I just want to know, are you single? Because if you are single, then you ain't going to be single that long here. So what we do have for you, that is going to be a pretty emotional change that is looming on the horizon, okay? And that emotional change is going to make you attached emotionally to somebody, which is going to make you see life in a very, very different way. That could be, you may end up even pregnant, okay, in the next 3.5 weeks, and that may be the emotional attachment that you are going to have. But aside from that, Debbie, it seems that you are going to stop addressing the irritating small details of your surroundings, like yeah, Debs, you do. Yeah, she's pretty much doomed. But what happens here is that you're gonna stop attending to the small details that may be aggravating, and you may be and you are to address the overview of the situation, simply that you can be happy with somebody, or that you can be happy with a something. Now, career-wise and relationship-wise, this card branches up pretty significantly. And maybe career-wise, you can expect, should that refer to your career, you can expect that this change is going to bring only creative projects at your behalf, and only creative, how can I say, involvements of you into the near future. Relationship-wise, well, I guess only thing I can say here is that your criteria are to be fulfilled. Okay, just they are to be fulfilled. Then the next one, that is going to be Ginger, and for you, Ginger, the card is the Six of Swords, and that will be catalyzed with the Death card. Okay, so we do have these two, and your card points that you have been right all along. That, I don't know what that refers to, but they just say you have been right all along, and people who mistrusted you, or they were opposition to you, they are going to come to that conclusion as well, that you have been right all along. And for that reason, some kind of a narrative that was different narrative from the right narrative is going to take place. Okay, or rather, like some kind of a narrative that was different from the true narrative is not going to take place, but the true narrative is going to take place, and you will become, how can I say, the peacemaker, the edge of the knife, the tip of the spear into a certain situation. Now, that is gonna put a lot of pressure on you and a lot of responsibility on you, and at some point you may be even afraid what you are to do and what kind of results your actions are going to bring. But in reality, there is nothing for you to be afraid of. Here we are seeing the rectification of a certain situation. Here we are seeing the reversal of the inevitable doom, like Cinnamon Kiss here is using that term. Here we are seeing getting on the right track. Here we are seeing that some kind of a wishful destination is now taken off. And next one, that is going to be Cinnamon Kiss, and she does actually want the Lenormand reading. Just hold on a second to get the cards, guys. Right, so the question was what you can do to make money at home. These three cards. Setting up traveling, okay? Finding people, places, agency. That is what the cards divulge. Okay, you do have the business card, the travel card, the anchor card. Is kind of like getting people to certain places. That it is what you can do. Like finding people place to rent, like traveling agency, something like this. Being the middle man, right, of a certain services. That is what you can do to make money at home or from home. I hope that that makes sense. Yeah. Well, that is John, that is into our human nature, okay? It's just we do take things for granted. And once we lose them, then we do understand the true value of things. And that's why sometimes when you do see that your partner is taking you for granted, or rather like the true way how you can understand how much you love somebody in general, it is when you start missing each other, okay? And that's why sometimes it's a very good thing to take some time apart from each other, just so you do understand how much you mean to one another. And finally, we do have Opt New York City. I hope that I am kind of like saying your nickname correctly. Thank you so much again for your support. And we do have the Hangman for you with the Knights of Pentacles, those two cards. Oh my. Right, so again, those two cards for you. And the transit for you is going to go very smooth and exactly how you have planned it. In fact, your plan is going to go so smooth for the transit itself, okay, that's it just is going to seem like a piece of cake. But there is this transit is going to simultaneously a test for you and a breakthrough. And it's going to be a breakthrough because halfway through the transit, you will understand that what you are going for or what you are striving for, it's not exactly what you want. And that will make a readjustment of your plan. That will make you readjust your perception over your career or over your love life or over your life in general. That is going to be the breakthrough. And the test is going to be, are you willing to wait enough so the circumstances around that readjustment kind of snap together? So you may kind of like feel a little bit of a stress halfway through the transit because you are to realize at that point that you are throwing certain efforts not exactly into the right direction, but that is salvageable. And also I can advise you with these cards to take some time of a break, like a holidays. Spending them among nature is going to be the best thing you can do. But definitely for you, New York City, it seems that you will start knowing, you understand. Oops. It seems that we lost connection for a second. But just for a second, guys. So yeah, it's a pretty. I want to give a little bit more effort to explain you. So the Hangman and the Knights of Pentacles, they do go very well together, and the Knights of Pentacles are the circumstances, and they do show that you are doing the right thing, that are your circumstances. It's pretty much your actions are very effective, they're supported with the right determination, and you pretty much know what you want. But the Hangman are the energies which points to that you are gonna start seeing the world in a very different light. Just as the man dangles on the tree upside down, seeing the world upside down, therefore seeing the world through a very different perspective. And once you do see the world from that different perspective, you will understand that there are better things for you to do. There are so much more other stuff that are much more profitable and proficient than what you thought you want. And thus that will make you rearrange your plans for your near future, which are going to be way more proficient than the plans you initially entered with into this transit. And these two cards may also speak that a dormant love is going to be set into stir one more time. Yeah, John, but it's way too late, isn't it? It's just way too late. Well, Ginger, the pleasure is mine, and I hope that you are also going to feel pleasure. That's, you know, you're going to find that you were right all along. I don't know what about, but you are to be right all along. Oh yeah, oh my God, I missed her, Komisaba. Comsave. How will this transit affect me personally? I'm sorry. And we have the Four of Cups for you with the Knights of Wands. Those two cards, Comsave or Comesave. And I'm sorry if I am not gave my work. What does that mean? But thank you so much, Up New York. So these are the two cards for you, and the transit actually is going to knock off a lot of options available. Okay, so you may kind of like say you may have a just, you know, figuratively speaking, you may have a say couple of people to date with. Okay, and either of them may look very interesting, either of them may look very suitable for you, therefore you may not have an understanding which one should be the better one, right? So you are going to have certain options available, but as you move into the transit, you will suddenly start realizing that none of these options actually suits you best, and your option is elsewhere. So it's kind of like this transit, like I said, is going to knock off a infertile options available for you, and is going to leave only options available that can grow into the future. And also this transit is going to affect you in a way where you will understand that attracting many things at your plate at some point makes you very overwhelmed. So instead of going for new stuff, you are going to start trying to how can I say, to push to as much as you can your current possessions, so to speak. So for example, instead of looking for additional things to work, you are going to push what you are working on right now to its maximum extent. Same thing goes in terms of your relationship as well. Now, important thing here for you, Comisape, is to be able to put brakes. What I mean is that you should keep up with things for as far as things are interesting to you, instead of pushing them for as much as you can if they become disinteresting to you as well, because you do risk going into a overdrive mode, like being burned out with certain people, with certain enterprises as well, and just focus on what can produce results instead of on hopefully can produce results. I hope that that's pretty much makes sense. It's a pretty, I would say it's a bit chaotic transit for you, okay, where it does start, where you do have many things to do, but as you go into the transit, more and more these things are going to start losing sense, while there is a couple of them that only make sense for you from there on moving forward, and you are to restrict yourself only around them. Okay, Mosabe. All right. Okay, Mosabe. All right. All right, everyone. So I think that this is going to conclude the live stream for today. The Mercury in Virgo is going to be a pretty intense. It's going to be pretty intense for all of us, especially astrology-wise. Just to repeat myself here, what Pisces Moonbeam said, there are going to be a lot of truths and as well a lot of practical expressions that are gonna immerse beneath the surface. Okay, so whomever is dishonest, disingenuous, and straight away a liar, they're gonna get what they deserve into the next 3.5 weeks, and just we will become way more practical than before, which pretty much I think it's all of the readings that I made, especially the super chat readings as well, for they do focus particularly into the transit. Cinnamon Kiss, I will be very intrigued to know what you find to work for you in terms of making money from home. Very interesting to know if that Lenormand reading is going to come true for you. And yeah, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for your support. Those who sticked around, those who supported the live stream through Super Chat, I love you all. Thank you so much. And we are going to see each other very, very soon, because the transits are piling up. And I think that the next one is going to be 2 days from now that I'm going to do. Okay, I have to look into my schedule. But yeah, we're going to see each other very, very soon. And until then, bye.